Welcome back, Patriots. Welcome to Sons of Liberty 1773. This is indeed where men and women from around the world gather in defense of liberty. I am your host, Bill Bailey, who will be channeling the patriotism of America's founding fathers, such as these words of wisdom from Sam Adams, father of the American Revolution. If ye love wealth better than liberty, the tranquility of servitude better than the animating contest of freedom, go home from us in peace. We ask not your counsels or arms. Crouch down and lick the hands which feed you. May your chains set lightly upon you, and may posterity forget that ye were ever our countrymen. Amen, brother. I think I'll buy a Sam Adams and have a drink, toast to him. A lot of news going on, folks. The dam is bursting. Every lie will be revealed. This deal in Michigan that the Gateway Pundit has uncovered with the massive ballot application fraud in Michigan that was, it's getting deeper and deeper. This big company funded with millions and millions of dollars from Democrats, including Joe Biden, has tentacles everywhere, and this story is going to expand and expand. Dana Nessel, Jocelyn Benson, Gretchen Whitmer, and most likely Ed McBroom, the Senate Majority Leader that wrote that BS report that it's the big lie. There was no widespread election fraud in Michigan. Now we know that's all BS. I mean, we always have, but they knew it too. And they were lying to us. And it even goes, there's a article posted at the Gateway Pundit. And I'll put this is breaking news, a breaking headline. I will put this article in the description of this video. Trump White House official confirms knowledge of Muskegon, Michigan voter fraud report in 2020. There was an arrest. Bill Barr killed it. Never told Trump, hid the story. The FBI is where election integrity investigations go to die. They're protecting the regime. So, I think Bill Barr, everybody that knew in the government and was protecting this information and keeping it from the public is criminal. It's guilty of a crime. I think Gretchen Whitmer, Jocelyn Benson, Dana Nessel, all of them should be removed from office. I think they should face charges. By the way, they're being real quiet about this. They're not tweeting anything. Craig Mauger, who's the mouthpiece for the Communist Detroit News, liberal paper, is not saying nothing. They're all, quiet. There's something there. Hard to hide when this is an investigation launched by Dana Nessel. She took it from the Muskegon police and gave it to the state police, who report to Gretchen Whitmer, who in turn gave it to the FBI, and then the story died. But Bill Barr is a piece of crap, isn't he? The January 6th committee criminals. I mean, this is just the lawlessness in our government now. I mean, truly is a banana republic. So the January 6th committee that just, one-sided, it's a clown circus, show court, show trial, brought all these witnesses, and it was a get Trump, bash Trump committee. And boy, they got all this damning evidence on Trump. So damning that now that Trump's got subpoena power, they deleted and scrubbed everything. Hillary Clinton was probably in there, bleach bidding it with them. Unbelievable, because there was going to be evidence there that, that they didn't show, just like what I'm talking about, that they hid from the public, and they don't want anybody to know, so they deleted. Imagine if we did that, folks. Imagine if Trump did that in the Trump White House. What a scandal. But, the Orwellian media doesn't say boo about it, right? Trump has been on a tear, by the way. A couple of his latest truths that he posted, I had to write them down because they're really juicy. I think crooked Joe Biden is not only dumb and incompetent, I believe he has gone mad. A stark raving lunatic with his horrible and country-threatening environment, open borders, DOJ, FBI weaponization policies, He is a mental catastrophe that is leading our country to hell. Totally true, folks. I mean, spot on. Then this, what crooked Joe Biden, who can't string two sentences together, has done to our once great country through his open borders catastrophe may go down as the greatest and most damaging mistake ever made in USA history. Not a mistake to the communists. They're doing this on purpose. He continues with, it is not even believable that such incompetence and stupidity could have been allowed to happen. Our country is being destroyed by a man with the mind, ideas, and IQ of a first grader. This invasion of our country must stop immediately. It cannot be allowed to continue. And I told you, I watched the reporter, somebody that's covering the Darien Pass, meeting some Chinese nationals that are fleeing communist China because they legitimately want to come to a free country like America and contribute to our free society, saying, we recognize those men, those groups of fighting age men. They are CCP, it's the army, and they are coming into your country, and you know, they're not up to doing well, or you know, they're not here to help America. They're agents of the CCP. And I've always said they bought all this farmland. So easy to hide, you know, a Chinese army right here in America. Just unbelievable that this criminal regime is just letting our enemies flood into this country. And I suspect these military men from the Chinese, you know, from the CCP, are not here to do a, you know, arm-to-arm combat with America. I expect they're here to do nefarious things to water treatment, nuclear, you know, that they've got strategic sites that they plan to hit if we ever go kinetic war with China. And, you know, war today, folks, it ain't, you know, people get drafted, you know, or, you know, get on the planes and they go to a foreign battlefield or a, you know, Navy ship. The war is going to be everywhere, and it's going to be fifth generation warfare. They're going to hit us with cyber, biological. They're already in the chat rooms, right, pushing the propaganda. I mean, they're censoring anything bad about said about China, but if somebody says something bad about Trump, of course they blow that up. So it's non-conventional warfare, I guess is the right phrase. So it's going to be everything. They're going to hit the grid. Complete and utter chaos will ensue. And so you best be prepping, my friends. I certainly hope you are. One thing you can say if you're watching this channel, that, well, if somebody would have told me to you know, that's, you know, we could be looking at, you know, World War III and the Greatest Depression, I would have bought supplies. Well, you got no excuse if you're listening to this channel, because I preach that stuff. What else here? This is pretty disturbing, isn't it? Here's a good story. James Comer, who has really been a patriot, this is breaking news, says that Joe and Hunter Biden will be subpoenaed to come before the House Oversight Committee. Quote, James Comer said, "We have caught Joe Biden in so many lies I can't even count them all." They need to answer for selling pay for play, selling favorable treatment. The Biden family has made millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. They don't have any product. They don't make anything. They don't own a factory. They don't own a business, not that I'm aware of, where they're making widgets. So let's hope that happens and happens fast. The Republicans are just dragging their feet. And Matt DePerno sent me a great article. I should share it here. The guy said the problem with America right now is that our two-party system has kept the peace, okay? When people get upset with one party, they vote to the other party, and it's kind of, you know, ping-pongs back and forth. What's happening right now is there is no Republican Party. There is a uniparty. And I read that article and I thought, wow, this guy's, you know, hit on something here. And then lastly, how many times have you seen these Hollywood actors say, you know, they want to, you know, Trump made all these threats, you know, Kathy Griffin or whatever her name is holding the severed head of Trump. And I don't see the FBI showing up at their house at 6:15 in the morning. Yet a 74-year-old handicapped Utah man who doesn't like Biden made an off-the-cuff, I believe protected by freedom of speech, comment about, wishing ill on Joe Biden, threatened the regime. And the FBI raided his house, I believe, yesterday morning in Provo, Utah at 6:15 in the morning. I'm thinking a no-knock warrant, and they killed the man. They killed an American citizen in his home for wishing ill on this regime. He said a couple of things he shouldn't have said, but I don't think he show up at the guy's house and kill him. So that needs to be investigated, and I think it was either Charlie Kirk or Jack Posobiec that said, and I echoed this, let's see the body cam footage from the FBI agent that shot this elderly man that can move at like 1 mile an hour. They must be proud of themselves. But I'll tell you, this is why it's important to have. Now, I have really weird hours, folks. I get a good sleep, but like I'm up at 3 a.m. in the morning. And we have a system here at our house. If a rabbit moves on my property, I know about it, okay? And I'm not talking expensive stuff here. But I'm aware. I have situation awareness here at Cold Creek Properties. Trust me. And I suggest, now if this guy would have had this, the minute they're coming down the driveway, he's looking out the window and says, oh, looks like the FBI showed up. And when they come in with these no-knock warrants, look, if somebody bashes my door down, I keep a 12-gauge Mossberg 500 by my person in the house everywhere. Somebody bashes my door down, I'm assuming they're coming to harm me. And I am going to be a hostile person. I mean, I have a right to protect myself, my family, and my private property. And so if they went and bashed this guy's door down and he was there with his gun and they just automatically, well, he's armed, shoot him. I think they've got some answering to do. There needs to be some explaining there. And the FBI said, well, we take every shooting very seriously and there will be an investigation. What, like the Muskegon election crime syndicate that was running? Like you investigated that? Or like when Bill Bailey called you and said, hey, I want you to investigate these machines in Antrim County. And you said, well, go online and fill out a tip. Was going nowhere. Even if the field agent would have did something here, Bill BARR, what do you think he was going to do with it? What else do I got here? Oh, I might as well, just a reminder of what Hunter Biden said. I am sitting here with my father, and we would like to understand why the commitment has not been fulfilled. Tell the director that I would like to resolve this now before it gets out of hand, and now means tonight. And Z, if I get a call or text from anyone involved in this outside of you, Zhang, or the chairman, I will make certain that between the man sitting next to me, his dad, Joe Biden, and everyone he knows, and my ability to forever hold a grudge that you will regret not following my directions. I am sitting here waiting for a call with my father. Just weeks later, the Biden family received millions of dollars from that Chinese firm. He is Joe Biden is compromised, and he is a foreign agent, in my opinion, for the CCP. He is a lying piece of crap. I think Peter Ducey just got him to ask, what about these phone calls, doing business with your kid? I didn't do anything. So now he's on tape lying again. We'll have to see where this goes. But we are living in perilous times, okay? We are teetering on the edge of disaster. And so my advice to you, because most of this stuff is way out of our hands, right? Is to be prepping and stocking up on food, water filtration, a way to heat your house if you're in a climate where you need heat in the winter, or you'll freeze to death, a wood stove, one that if you're not using it, that's ready to go. There's so many things that, to get caught up with prepping, and it takes a lot of time, but time isn't our friend right now. China is testing the fences for weaknesses. I told you this yesterday. Russia and China never did this before. Working together in naval exercises, piercing our sovereign water up by the Aleutian Islands in Alaska. We had to send a destroyer group there. I said we sent the 5th Fleet to Straits of Hormuz to stop Iran from seizing oil tankers. Iran is close to testing the nuclear bomb. The little corpulent warlord Kim Jong-un said prepare for war. China is preparing actively for kinetic warfare with us, okay? Don't kid yourself. I mean, the news is out there. Just go search for it. They plan on taking Taiwan, and it's going to get ugly. And with the weapons of war we have today, folks, it is absolutely terrifying. They have nuclear torpedoes with that. Russia does with the Satan II nuclear warhead that can destroy a state the size of Texas. We're not talking about city destroyers now. We're talking about state destroyers. In the Doomsday torpedo that can navigate and move around with GPS, they could probably launch it in Russia. It's nuclear powered. It can make its way off the eastern seaboard and detonate and, make a tsunami like 600 feet in the air and completely devastate the eastern seaboard. Destroy everything, naval yards, everything. It's the kind of weapons we're dealing with. So I suspect when things go a little more hot, if a nuke is ever used, I suspect it'll be a tactical nuclear warhead in Ukraine, a small one. But the genie's out of the bottle since the Manhattan Project. It's just a matter of time. Humanity has used every weapon known to man to kill each other with, right? From rocks and sticks to catapult and crossbow to bow and arrow to from burning arrow to thermonuclear warhead. From catapults to modern mortars. We have a history of warring with each other, since Cain and Abel. And humans are still the same. They're still, wicked and evil. And now you've gave the wicked and evil people nation-destroying weapons, okay? Not army-destroying, nation-destroying weapons. And so Joe Biden is just kicking the bear, wants to go to war with a nuclear nation. The two nations with the most nuclear weapons are Russia and America. It's beyond stupid. It's dangerous. It's homicidal. And we need to make peace with Russia. We haven't had a problem with Russia in years. I've never liked the communists, hated the Soviet Union, but they're the Soviet Union. Reagan took it down, and they're not America by any means, but they want to be. They love their national history, they love their country, and they want to protect their country from this godless globalism that's trying to take over the world. So. George Washington said, stay out of foreign entanglements in his farewell speech. Stay out of Europe's wars. They're always warring. Stay the hell out of it. They're always fighting. They'll drag you down the road to hell. Somebody should start, in Washington, start reading. George Washington was a wise man. Maybe start reading some of that stuff and listening to his words. We do need to have a strong military, second to none. So strong and so powerful that no one dare mess with us. And that's what Trump did. During his term, put like $3 trillion in our dilapidated military to make it state of the art, peace through strength. And then now we learn through Biden, the strategic Granholm, we about drained the strategic oil strategic oil reserve. And, I think it's down to like 1980 levels or something. And we're out of ammo, that's why we're sending these cluster, illegal weapons to Ukraine, because that's what we have, these cluster munitions. So not good. And I do see almost daily now, folks, I forgot about this, I'm going to mention it now though, in the last week, these drone attacks by Ukraine into Moscow, they're starting to make hits and do damage. So it's a direct attack on the cities in Russia. I just think this whole thing's coming to a head, and it's not good. And we can't get Trump back in office soon enough. Trump will restore some peace and sanity to the world. And he will destroy the globalist. He will destroy the deep state. We're living in historic times. Historians are going to write about this era that we're living through right now. And it's either going to be a really happy story or a really, really sad story. Matter of fact, if the other side wins, the story will probably never be told. It will go down the memory hole, right? They will destroy history. So anyways, folks, I'm going to end it here. Keep prepping and keep praying. I will see you in the next video. God bless.